Court is in session at cause number 328486. Case is style of State of Texas versus Rakima Harrison. Mr. Bailey, could you please get Ms. Rakima Harrison? It's cause number 328486. Case is style of State of Texas versus Rakima Harrison. Ms. Harrison, is that your full name?
Yes.
How are you doing, Ms. Harrison?
Okay.
That's good. Ms. Harrison, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. John Macy. Mr. Macy, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Your Honor, and yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Macy, what is your announcement in Ms. Harrison's case?
Ms. Harrison was approved for and signed up in the BIP program.
Okay.
This last past sign period, which was February 3rd. So
Okay.
she's in the program right now.
Okay, so we're gonna reset it, give him a 90-day reset. What is it? Okay, it's gonna be reset to May 16th of 2022. Ms. Harrison, your case is being reset 90 days to give you an opportunity to complete the BIP program. Mr. Macy, you can get your reset. You can sign for your reset. Once you sign for your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day, Ms.
Thank you, Your
Harrison.
Honor.
Thank you. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go as well and you have a blessed day. Yes. Let's see.
Order.
Yeah. Okay, it's Jacob DeQueer. Please come forward. This is cause number 327528. Case is style of the State of Texas versus Jacob M. DeQueer. Mr. DeQueer, is that your full name? How you doing, Mr. DeQueer? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking, Mr. DeQueer. You're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Dustin Gilmore. Attorney Gilmore, how you doing?
Great, Judge. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Gilmore, what's your announcement in Mr. DeQueer's case?
Your Honor, his felony was reset. We don't have a new date yet because it's 252nd, but I suspect it'll be reset for about 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, we'll have our coordinator to check on the dates. DeQueer, page 3, first person on page 3 of the announcement docket. Jacob DeQueer, cause number 327528. He's the first one on page 3. Yes. And she's gonna check. If it hadn't been set in the computer, then our court coordinator will continue to check. 321, okay. The case is being reset with your felony on March 21st, 2022. Mr. Galmore, you can sign for his reset. Once you get your reset, you can stand over there. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
This is cause number 330012. Case is style of State of Texas versus Lawrence W. Westbury or Lawrence Wayne Westbury. Could you please come forward? Is your full name Lawrence W. Westbury or Lawrence Wayne Westbury?
Yes, Lawrence,
Okay.
sir.
How you doing, Mr. Westbury?
Good, sir.
That's good. Mr. Westbury, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Dustin Gilmore. Mr. Gilmore, what's your announcement?
Same announcement, Your Honor. He's got a felony pending. However, he's going into the Veterans Court program. That starts on March the 10th. And so if this court would set his next court date towards the end of March or sometime later, I believe the Veterans Court program will resolve this case.
Okay, we're getting about a 60-day reset. Okay, it's gonna be reset to May 2nd of 2022. Mr. Westbury, your attorney's gonna sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
Jeff, yes, Jeffrey.
He may be the phone number. I'm not really sure who Mr. Davis is.
Okay, this is cause number 3. Well, he's here because I have him checked off.
Okay, good.
Okay, this is cause number 330120. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Jeffrey Caleb Davis. Your name is Jeffrey Caleb Davis?
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. Davis?
Doing well.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Davis, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Dustin Galmore. Okay, Mr. Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Davis's case?
Your Honor, Mr. Davis has been accepted in the pretrial diversion. His signing date is April the 7th.
Give him a reset the second week in April. Okay, this case is going to be reset to April 11th of 2022. Your attorney is going to sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. Mr. Davis, and you have a blessed day. Do you have any other cases? Okay, Mr. Galmore, you're free to go. You have a blessed day as well.
You too.
Jimmy Doss. Mr. Bailey, could you please get Jimmy Doss?
Right outside the door.
This is cause number 321234. Case is style of state of Texas versus Jimmy Lee Doss Jr. Mr. Doss,
Yes, sir.
that's your full name?
Yes, sir, Jimmy Lee Doss.
How you doing, Mr. Doss?
Doing wonderful. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Doss. You're here represented by your attorney, Mr. John West. Mr. West, how you doing?
Good, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. West, what is your announcement in Mr. Doss's case?
Your Honor, Mr. Doss, there's an agreement with the state for him to pay some restitution back. I think the case is going to be resolved for that. He's been trying to come up with the money. He needs a little more time to do that.
Okay, that's not right. Mr. Doss, would you
Your
please
Honor.
take the gum out your mouth?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Yes.
Your Honor, this deal has been on the table for nearly a year now. There have been
Wow.
numerous, since March of 2021. So the state would, if the court's inclined to give another reset, the state requests to be the last reset for this restitution deal. Otherwise, we're going to have to come up with a different plea bargain.
You're okay. You understand that? So he's been trying the whole year to get the restitution. That's what you're saying?
Yes, Your
Not
Honor,
sure when-
$681.
Is that correct?
And that sounds right, Your Honor. Yeah, we've reset it a few times for Mr. Doss to come up with the restitution.
Okay, now, Mr. Doss, the
Yes,
state
sir.
is saying, this is gonna be your last reset,
Yes, sir.
okay?
Yes, sir.
How much time does he need?
He told me he needed 60 days, Your Honor.
If I can give you that, I can come with the whole 600.
Okay, we're gonna give him 75 days,
Okay.
okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, give him, reset him for 75 days. And once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. Now you have to sign. What? Yeah, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go.
Yes,
And you
sir.
have a blessed day, Mr. Doss.
Thank you, Your
And
Honor.
Mr. West, this your only case?
I believe it is, Your Honor.
Okay. You're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
My only case in your court, put it that way. Not the only
Oh,
case.
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Vasquez. This is, um, cause number 325-622, Andy DeCario.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That's,
Okay, we have, this is cause number 325-662, excuse me, 325-622. Case is style of State of Texas versus Andy Lacayo DeCario. Mr. DeCario, is that your full name?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. DeCario, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine today. How about you, Your Honor?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. DeCario, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Joel Vasquez. Mr. Vasquez, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Vasquez, what is your announcement in Mr. DeCorio's case?
Your Honor, could this case be placed on the docket on April 7th? That's when Mr. is scheduled to sign his pretrial diversion letter.
What we normally do is we usually sign it the week after that because they usually dismiss the case the next day. Okay? So we're gonna reset it till, give us a reset date. It's gonna be reset to April 11th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. DeCario, stay in contact with your attorney. This will conclude your case. Thanks for being patient with us. You have a blessed day. And you're free to go. And Mr.
Thank you, Your
Vance,
Honor.
I think this is your only case. You're free to go as well. And thanks for being patient with us.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, Mr. Jones.
Yes, sir. We have a case on the docket today. And I tried to log in the system and didn't come up. And I've had that problem before. Sometimes,
I think they have you under your dad's name.
yeah. Thank you,
So, I
sir.
mean, you're gonna have to,
I don't know his, I can't think of his barcode. There's one digit difference on his barcode than mine. And I can't remember.
yeah, but they can look it up.
Pardon?
Okay, the court is in session and 6 cases with Tanisha Green. First case is cause number 326-422. Second case is cause number 326-692. Third case is cause number 328-106. The fourth case is cause number 328-472. Fifth case is cause number 329-666. And the sixth case is cause number 330046. All 6 cases are styled the state of Texas versus Tanisha Green. Ms. Green, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Green, how are you doing? You doing good?
I'm doing good.
That's good. Now, Ms. Green, you're represented here by your attorney, Mr. Langston Adams. Adams, how are you doing?
Doing well.
Mr. Adams, what's your announcements in Ms. Green's cases?
To my understanding, Mr. Patrick represents her on felony cases.
She still, I don't understand why the felony cases didn't print today.
It's reset for next month for Ms. Green. So
What day do you have? Because I still show today.
she told me that they reset for next month.
Okay, we'll check.
Do you have the, no, I can't. What day, you already have the new date?
It's
What is it?
it's being reset for 30 days.
Just
I
check
think
it.
it's the 14th.
Just check it.
It's not reset, Judge, that's why. I'm
Oh, it hadn't been
asking.
reset yet?
It has been. But,
Not in the computer, that's why I was asking her, if she knew her new court date.
They told you the date? But she don't know. We're just gonna have to, no, that's not a problem. Just settle down. What's gonna happen is we're gonna have our court coordinator to check later on, and then when she find out that date, Mr. Adams, you want it set on that same day?
Same day that we
We'll
found
set it
it.
on the same day. And so this will conclude your case. Your case is, so you are free to go. You have a blessed day. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. All right? Okay, you're free to go.
You can take off.
It was on the page of the document.
Next case is
Savannah.
Savannah
Vidalier.
Vadaye.
She's here.
I didn't know if it was Vadaye or Vitalier.
The Dahlia.
Vadayer? Okay. Vadaye is in Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
Vadayer. Okay. This is cause number 325661. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Savannah Leah Vidalier. Or Vidalier. Miss Vidalier, how are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. You're represented here by your attorney, Mr. Langston Adams. Mr. Adams, what's your announcement?
On her case, Judge, when me talking with her, I realized she has no criminal history to my knowledge at all, 0. So I would be remiss if I don't ask for pretrial diversion.
Okay. Let's reset him
14, 49.
418 or 411. Which date is better for you?
Either one, I'll
Nope.
make it work.
Let's go 418. Yeah. Okay, it's gonna be reset to April 18, 2022, Ms. Badalier. And you can get your reset from your attorney. Once you get your reset from your attorney,
Thanks,
you'll
Judge.
be free to go. You have a blessed day.
Come see
You're
you this
welcome.
week. So we good.
And Mr. Adams, is this your last case?
I think that's it.
Okay, you're free to go as well. You have a blessed day.
All right, y'all take it easy.
That's what's, yeah, no, let me. Okay, this is cause number 323-126. Case is style of state of Texas versus Lester J. Lewis. Mr. Lewis, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Lewis?
Doing okay.
Okay, now, Mr. Lewis, you have a felony case?
Yes, sir.
When was the felony case reset? When was it set? Was it set today?
For the day, but it got reset to the 14th next
You,
month.
you got your reset
His
paper with you?
reset to March 14th. His is already reset.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is, your case is gonna be reset with your felony case. Stand over there on the X in front of the court coordinator. She'll reset your case. Now 4X. Okay, we're in session in two cases, cause number 330-958, cause number 331-388. Both cases are styled, well, state of Texas versus, is that Toshman Holland Mansfield? Or Toshland J. Holland? Okay, sir, what's your full name?
Toshman Jayan Mansfield Holland.
Could you repeat that?
Toshman Jayan Mansfield Holland.
Toshland Jayon Mansfield Holland?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how you doing, Mr. Holland?
Doing good.
Okay, now, do you have a felony case set?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when was it set today?
Yes, sir. And they reset it to April 26th.
April 26th?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this case is gonna be reset to the same date. Stand on the 4X. He's on bottom of page 5, Toshman Mansfield or Toshman Holland. Once you get your reset, Mr. Holland, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Mark Taylor. That was reset. Jansen Bailey. Paget. Gilmore. Mr. Boudreaux. You have Brian Walker. Cause number 329468. Mr. Bailey, could you please call the name of Brian Walker?
Both myself and the bonding company, he hasn't answered the phone the last couple of weeks. He has showed up every time before this, but I don't know what to pay.
You said a bonding company? I'm surprised they hadn't filed the AFRS.
I tried.
Yeah. Well,
It's worked out, I mean.
I understand, but we'll give you some time
He's
to,
not here.
okay, I understand. We'll give you some time to, he got, yeah. We'll see if they can, if you can notify him today. If not, we'll have to call this, you know, it may result in a bond forfeiture. Okay. Okay,
I wanted to try to be here and
I understand.
let you know, but I tried to find him again this morning.
Okay. Yeah,
He just, I don't know, he just not answering his phone.
yeah. Okay. All right. So if you free to go if you want to leave. Okay. Yeah.
He should work out, but he's got to be here to do it
We got Mr. Doyle.
before.
There's somebody at the, find out who that is.
That's your felony control. 388. That's your felony thought. Two misdemeanors. The other, the firearm, you had been indicted. Okay. So I can't give you a number. Now, you don't have a pending, but the number I just gave you, that's fine. You have two pending, a misdemeanor, which is on the back of that paper. Cause, we're in session in cause number 3275584, case is style of state of Texas versus Keyshawn Acacia Purdy. Ms. Purdy, is that your full name? How you doing, Ms. Purdy? I'm doing fine. Ms. Purdy, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Purdy, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes.
Ms. Purdy, you may put your hand down. Ms. Purdy, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Peter Doyle. Mr. Doyle, how are you doing?
Pretty fair, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Ms. Purdy, I have before me a document that is titled Information that has been filed by the District Attorney's Office. This information alleges that on or about June 11 of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of false report to a peace officer. Ms. Purdy, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, Ms. Purdy, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
No.
Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Ms. Purdy, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Ms. Purdy, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, Ms. Purdy, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that is checked no contender, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
On the third page of the same document, Ms. Purdy, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Did you sign this document? And on the next document, which is titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant? There are two boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that? Ms. Purdy, I also have another document before me. This document is titled the discovery certification. Is this your signature on this document? Now, Ms. Purdy, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I have just mentioned, did your attorney, Mr. Dahl, go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1 and State's Exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit. State, you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection, Judge.
No objection. States Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Dahl, you've advised and counsel Ms. Purdy. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Judge.
Ms. Purdy, your attorney, Mr. Dahl, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Purdy, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I'll also find that your plea of no contest and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for 1 year of deferred probation, no fine, but 50 hours of community service.
Ms. Purdy, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During this 1 year probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. However, you will be required to pay court costs of $352. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $16 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You will also be required to reimburse Jefferson County court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you would have to pay each month while you're on probation, is $130 per month. Ms. Purdy, will you be able to pay the $130 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 50 hours of community service and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Ms. Purdy, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Purdy, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Purdy, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney, Mr. Dahl, about applying for non-disclosure. He's quite competent in those matters. Ms. Purdy, you're going to stand on the X next to your attorney, and you're going to follow the directions of our court clerk. And once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just place your right hand and please swear and hold down.
Discovery certification.
Court is in session and calls number 325-643. Case is style of State of Texas versus John Anthony Landrum. We have Mr. Landrum who's appearing in court. Mr. Landrum, how are you doing?
Doing good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Landrum. You're here represented by your attorney who is appearing via Zoom, Mr. Jansen Bailey. Mr. Bailey, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Your Honor.
Mr. Bailey, what is your announcement in Mr. Landrum's case?
That we're ready for trial, Your Honor.
You want to reset, you want to set it for trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, okay, give us a trial date. If you prefer to put it on. Okay, Mr. Bailey, Mr. Landrum's case is going to be reset for trial on April the 11th of 2022. Mr. Bailey, your reset will be sent to you. Mr. Landrum, you can stand over in front of our court coordinator, get your reset once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Bailey, this is your only case. You're free to go as well as you have a blessed day.
Your Honor, I believe I have another case, Michael Fiedler.
Oh, hold on a minute. Is this on the pretrial conference? Oh, yeah. Oh, is he here? Mr. Bonzo, would you please? He's number 2 on the pretrial conference docket, page 1. Michael Fiedler. This is cause number 322-346. Case of style of State of Texas versus Michael Fiedler. Mr. Fiedler, was Michael called Fiedler Jr.?
Yes.
Mr. Fiedler, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Fiedler?
Pretty good.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Fiedler, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Jansen Bailey, who's appearing via Zoom. Mr. Bailey, what is your announcement in Mr. Fiedler's case?
Your Honor, this case is a case that was supposed to be refiled so we can plea, and it's my mistake to not be there this morning in person. I'd ask that we'd have it reset 1 week or 2 weeks or whatever convenient for the court in order to have that plea actually entered.
Let me ask you, has the case been refiled?
Not to my knowledge, Your Honor.
Because I'm looking at, I only see one case on the docket. It's the DWI enhanced with a alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more.
Maybe I should talk with Mr. Bailey about.
Okay, yeah, we have another prosecutor. So the other, who is Mr. Blake Ham, he's gonna, I guess, talk to you. How much, now you want it reset, how much time do y'all need?
Next week is the holiday.
Yeah, okay.
It'll take at least 30 days.
30 days, okay. We're gonna reset it 30 days. Is that fine with you, Mr. Bailey?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Give us a reset date.
328.
Okay, it's gonna be reset to 3/28. Seems like it'll be about 3/14, but. Okay, 328.
That docket is closed.
Okay, have us stand in front of the court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. Stay in contact with your attorney and your boss. And Mr. Bailey, your reset will be sent to you. You're free to go. And you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Mr. Ham, I'll be in contact with you.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
Court is in session. Let's see, and calls number 329466. Case is style of state of Texas versus Frederick Anthony Granger.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Granger, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Granger, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? May I put your hand down, Mr. Granger? Mr. Granger, your full name is Frederick Anthony Granger?
Yes.
How are you doing, Mr. Granger?
Good.
That's good. Mr. Granger, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Ted Johns. Mrs. Johns, again, how are you doing?
How you doing again, sir?
I'm doing fine. Now, Mr. Granger, I have before me a document that is titled Information. And this document was filed by the District Attorney's Office, and the information alleges that on or about December 16 of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Granger, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, Mr. Granger, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Okay, Mr. Granger, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Mr. Granger, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Granger, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that is checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Mr. Granger, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On the next page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant, Mr. Granger. Is that your signature?
Yes.
On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, Mr. Granger, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Is this your signature above the line that is titled Defendant?
Yes.
There are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Mr. Granger, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes.
Is this your signature above the line that is titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Granger, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I have just mentioned to you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
State, I have before me states exhibits number 1 and 2. State, you like to offer states exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection. States Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Jones, you've advised and counseled Mr. Granger.
Yes, sir.
Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None that I observed, sir.
Mr. Granger, your attorney, Mr. Jones, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes,
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
yes.
Mr. Granger, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for 90 days in jail probated over a term of 1 year. $500 fine, 40 hours of community service, DWI classes, drug and alcohol assessments, and interlock device.
Your Honor, how many days does he have to put the interlock device on his car?
You have to give it to probation officer. This,
But you have to make a point with him.
I mean, you can look at the statute. Let's see. It says here in Article 42A.408, Section F, it says the court shall require the defendant to obtain an interlock device, excuse me, an initial interlock device at the defendant's own cost before the 30th day after the date of conviction, unless the court finds that to do so would not be in the best interest of justice and enters the finding on the record.
So he has up to 30 days to get that device?
Yeah, according to statute.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We wanted clarification on that.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, now, Mr. Granger, let me go. This is, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a $500 fine plus court costs of $422, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $922. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, the total amount of monthly installments you will be required to pay, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $160 per month. Mr. Granger, will you be able to pay the $160 each month?
Yes.
You'll also be required to perform 40 hours of community service. You'll be required to attend and complete a DWI education class and have a drug and alcohol assessment. You'll also be required to install a DWI interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You'll also be required to adhere to the standard terms and conditions of probation. Mr. Granger, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Granger, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Granger, You're gonna stand on the X in front of your, well, next to your attorney. You'll follow the directions of our clerk. Once you're finished following our clerk's directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good one.